Roger Entner, founder, lead analyst, Recon Analytics. Roger, it's great to see you. We have to assume the thing is actually really going through. I guess there still could be some hurdles, but let's assume it really happens and this integration is underway. What are your thoughts?
Well, it will really transform the industry because T-Mobile, that has been the maverick here, is going to be supercharged with more spectrum. They have promised to launch a couple of new programs. Most notably, they're going to launch, when it closes, a $15 2 gigabyte prepaid plan. That will really be very popular among prepaid customers, even get some people to switch from postpaid. And on top of it, they will give them 500 megabytes more every year for the next 5 years. The speed on T-Mobile's network will get faster. It will be much easier for them to roll out 5G. We have talked about a lot about the mid-band, the C-band. T-Mobile is getting the equivalent of that in this merger. And for AT&T and Verizon to keep pace, they need to invest several $1 billion in the C-band auction, which comes later this year. So it's going to be.
You're saying that this is great. T-Mobile's going to have faster, obviously, service. The other guys will have to pay a lot of money at these auctions in order to catch up, to have this kind of spectrum to do this. The other thing is how these prepaid customers, that's a huge customer base. So when we talk about this integration overall, Verizon and AT&T, which are going to have to play some catch up, according to you, how much of a catch-up? Are we worried about Verizon and AT&T? Could we see further mergers? What needs to be done? How big of a deal? How bad is it for them?
Well, we're now consolidated down to 3 companies, and that is pretty much the end state for nationwide network operators. I'm not afraid for Verizon and AT&T. They're 2 very solid companies that are formidable competitors. Nevertheless, T-Mobile has been eating their lunch for now more than 5 years, outgrown the rest of the industry together. But it's important to recognize that AT&T and Verizon are being rewarded by Wall Street for delivering profits. T-Mobile is being rewarded for delivering subscriber growth. And I think all 3 companies will continue to deliver on what they are getting rewarded.
I see. Okay, so it's not that one is great and the other are in trouble. It's more just each one has its own sort of path. What about Dish, which now gets to expand in wireless?
Well, Dish is entering the wireless market. They are getting the Sprint prepaid customers, about 8 to 9 million customers. And they are now building their own wireless network. For the next 7 years, they can roam on the T-Mobile network. So they will have from day one a nationwide network. But over 7 years, they have to build their own network, which will be a significant expenditure. This Charlie Ergen says it will cost him $10 billion. I think it will cost him $10 billion a year to build that network, because that's what the other 3 companies are going to spend on improving and expanding their network. And we've seen from Sprint the cautionary tale, what happens if you don't invest into your network, because then customers will leave and somebody else will buy you.
Yeah, final thoughts on this, because everybody's just trying to make money on the 5G rollout. Everybody's trying to figure out how they're going to do that. Is it, getting into T-Mobile and Sprint and, this collaboration, or is it the satellite towers? Is it Apple? What's your final thought on what 5G really brings and where the strength really lies?
Well, I think T-Mobile is a proven winner in the market. things can't get better for them than it already has. There is some integration risk. The previous merger that T-Mobile did, they did flawlessly. So it's a good company. But I think if you want to bet on wireless, you should buy fiber, because every one of these towers and base stations that we need will need a fiber connection.
How do we do that? Are those publicly traded companies? What are we talking about?
There are publicly traded companies like, for example, Crown Castle is offering that. Frontier, which is currently going through a Chapter 11 restructuring, when they come out, will be a very interesting play here. A lot of them, like Zayo, have been bought by private equity, so when they come back to the market, they will be very interesting to buy as well. And then one of the most exciting things about 5G is edge computing. And the two companies that have partnered with AT&T and Verizon are Amazon and Microsoft. And here the data, because it's basically data centers, because all the computing that is currently in your phone will be moved to the edge into a data center there, and then you have unlimited compute power in the palm of your hand. This will really transform
Roger.
What we have.
Thank you so much. Great conversation. Roger Entner, founder, lead analyst at Recon Analytics. Thanks a lot.